All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the One Nil Studios podcast. I'm Costa from One Nil. I'm joined by Jamie and Ali from Tono Studios, and also, more importantly, boys, I'm joined by Frank from the head of competitions at Football Victoria. Frank, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Obviously, a lot to get through. You're doing the Football Victoria thing, so we're getting quite a sort of diverse sort of group and range of people. We've had people that are just pretty loose units, like Michael Roos, which just came to mind. Last week's one was great with Katie Fred and Kayla Morrison, which I feel like we might get into some similar sort of parts in that aspect of sort of growing the women's game and sort of what I guess the country, Victoria, is looking forward to. But before we get into that, Frank, how's it going? What does a day in the life of Frank look like? What'd you get up to?
Yeah, it's going good. Pretty full on. We're in the off season at the moment. So many people think that we don't do much during the off season. So at the moment we are fixturing. So we'll release draft fixtures for our MPL men's, MPL women's, our VPL men's, VPL women's, our advanced juniors, and something that we're doing different this year is that we're releasing all our State League men's fixtures this side of Christmas, as well as State League 1 women's. So the thinking behind State League was we understand that there's clubs that have challenges with their facilities and they're not available, but why give clubs, a month to organise their venues?
Yeah.
We're giving them essentially, 3-4 months.
Yeah, it's a huge help.
Smart.
Yeah. I think obviously with us, we're like out of West Preston. I know already the guys are just a plan. I think like we briefly spoke before, obviously a lot of the clubs already shared with whether it's cricket or whatever it is. I think in the aspect of planning, definitely probably goes a long way. And people are starting so early. I know the season's starting earlier for MPL, but even State League clubs, it feels like it doesn't feel like there's been an off season.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Yeah, we're finding that as well. I mean, we have got our Doherty Cup, which is our preliminary rounds into the Australia Cup, and that starts early Feb as well. So that's for your State 5, 6, 7 now, and your Metro and your regional clubs. So their first round is essentially that. And clubs look at those games as friendly games as well, or a bit more serious, depending how far they want to progress in the cup as well. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff.
It's all happening. Well, boys, how are you doing?
We're good. Can't complain. It's been a good week. Yeah, it's the same story, man. Pre-season training. We've got first pre-season game coming up this Sunday. So, yeah, man, it's all happening. We're getting ready to go.
My days as an elite player, take away the talent part, they're long gone.
Yeah.
Playing pre-season games in November.
Bad.
You should have seen the fitness testing we were doing.
Yeah, we've done fitness testing and medicals last night. So it's quality, man. But we've got
for under 15s.
Yeah, 13s, 15s, 17s.
In the advanced juniors.
Advanced
juniors,
pretty full on. It's crazy.
Pretty full on space.
But we've got 5 games this side of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. That's why you come play for 1-0, because we'll just...
I see videos of
just
your trading.
Start in January, boys. Have fun. Start in January.
No, man. It's straight into it. So that's the thing for us. Season starts 1st of Feb.
The advanced junior boys and girls, essentially, they kick us off. One of the longest seasons, 30 rounds.
30 rounds.
So yeah, it's pretty full on.
It's good though. I think like the more football, the better, and it feels, I guess, as sort of realistic to a pro in the sense of how many games you're playing as you can probably get, like 15 as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, whatever it might be. You mentioned the advanced program. I'm going to come from a bit of an angle of, also because I don't really know a lot, but just from a complete explain, dumb it down. Someone's watching and they're like, and their son, their daughter is playing these advanced programs. We've got a couple young girls in our women's team that I know that were at the NTC, they're playing bullying and everything like that. What is sort of the main idea and sort of concept behind the advanced program? Yeah,
so it's a step above community. Essentially, your community juniors, they'll train twice a week. They'll have their games on a Sunday, whereas the advanced and in the boys it's 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, 18s. In the girls it's 13s, 15s, 17s, and that's a bit more serious, I'd say. So they're training 3-4 times a week. They've got strength and conditioning. They generally get a full book of match officials as well, so they'll get their lines people, they'll get their centre referee. And yeah, it's essentially the top talent that play in in those
Yeah.
advanced clubs and advanced leagues.
Is it in the sense of trying to create a more like competitive, or is it to sort of create that pathway for, I guess, to get to senior football and
Yeah, so the whole idea is, we want to build strong Victorian players to essentially represent our country. So you'll see with FV Academy, for example, that's essentially the pathway into, the young Matildas and eventually the Matildas, and the same with the boys, whereas in the boys, it's, yes, some clubs are really up there and got, great setups and whatnot, but you've got your A-League clubs in there as well, and they essentially get the pick of the crop, and the national team coaches and whatnot look at them a bit more, and that's their pathway into A-League senior setup and into the national teams essentially.
Nice. Well, I know did it again there. Did you say that? That's my magic wand. Well, I know you boys have touched on it, especially last week, like sort of what from coming from senior women's when you were at Bandura to now seeing the 15s at like a club like Avondale, and obviously like a club like Avondale, you'd expect the best of the best. But is that something you guys have already sort of noticed within there too, in the sense of like just how nuts and full on all the players are for it?
Yeah, man. It's like you see the mentality shift. All good?
Yeah, did you see it light up? Keep going.
No, the mentality shift, especially at this young age, like 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, it's wild. Like they are all there to strive for senior football. So like even, last night's session alone as well with the fitness testing was pretty heavy, and you see how much effort they put in. They're there to prove something, I guess, instead of sort of being in some of those senior environments where some players are there just to
fill the numbers
or kick about with mates, which is good too. But yeah, a different environment, more professional environment. So yeah, definitely.
I think that's what it is. It's the professional environment, all the coaches that they see around, and different coaches for different things, different people for different things. It makes them excited. Sure. Like, and I'm already a senior player.
It's just a small percentage of our players, right, as well. Yeah. Our volume is in community junior football, thousands of participants. So there's the advanced space, yes, for those players that are taking it a bit more serious and, have got the skill set and the mindset to be there. But, community juniors is also available, clubs everywhere essentially, and they offer also good programs, good community setups, and those clubs are happy to be community clubs as well. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I think sort of bridging the gap between, obviously you've got your elite and your advanced groups, like your Avondales, like your MPL clubs where it is, but I've been more so surrounded by the community sort of levels when I was like Collingwood City and everything like that, and
big club.
But when I was there 10 years ago, it felt like just a random sort of little space that was there. And to now, like I know for the junior girls program, I'd probably go out there and say like we've got one of the best ones around that area, at least for a community aspect, especially. Yeah. So that I feel like the gap between your community and your advanced programs isn't that astronomically big anymore. Yeah, it's like in the past you'd look at a community player and the MPL player, you'd be like, okay, I can tell. Whereas now you've got some, obviously not the whole team, but you've got some good talent within these community groups as well. We'll sort of strip it back a little bit. How did you end up in this?
At Football Victoria?
Yeah.
So I'll explain my journey. So I've been involved with football. Under 10s I started playing. I was the biggest kid, so no surprise I got put in goals. So started through there, played my juniors at Mill Park, then eventually went to Brunswick City, played Super League back then, went into seniors, did my knee, stopped playing. Ooh. I studied sports management at uni, and I always wanted to work at Football Victoria. That was the goal. So I was working at Box Hill Indoor Sports, right? Yeah, and I worked with someone who got a job at Football Victoria, and this is almost 7 years ago. Gives me a call. Look, there's a 2-month temp role in the registrations department. You'd be good for it. So I applied, got the job. So it was a 2-month temp role. I was working full time at that time. So, I had to make a life decision there. What do I do? Do I take the punt? So I took the punt. And then it just so happened that someone in that department left. My boss at the time got their position, and then I got her position. So it sort of worked out. So I was working in the registrations department. It's when play football, the registration system was rolling out, so I got to know pretty much every club, pretty in depth, and the club admins. And then I shifted into the competitions department, so I was still doing registrations, but also looking after the Geelong competition, which is something Football Victoria has been looking after for a while, that regional association. Then a role opened up in the NPL department, so I applied for that, got that job, and then eventually the manager role opened up, got that.
Wow.
So that changed from NPL to advanced competitions, because it's not just NPL, there's VPL. The juniors have now changed to Youth Premier League. We've changed that name. And then in May of this year, my boss, Dan, who was the executive manager of football operations, he got appointed interim CEO. And then a new role was established, head of competitions. So applied for that. And that role is essentially all competitions. So you got your advanced, your community, and your cup competitions. So I essentially look after that now. Almost 7 years later, and I really enjoy every day of it. I go to work, I talk about football every day. You meet so many people, make a lot of good connections, and just the culture and the environment at Football Victoria is really good. I've made some lifelong friends at Football Victoria, getting to go to matches every weekend. Essentially, I'm a big Victorian football nuffy. It's really great to be a part of a positive environment to work in.
Beautiful. You really climbed through all different aspects
from the bottom.
within Football Vic. That's it. What sort of, in this role already, is the first thing that made you go, okay, like you maybe didn't think about when you were about to get it, and when you were thinking about the job, that has made you think about it and go, okay, let's call me off guard a bit. This is what I'm going to have to do, both good and bad. Yeah,
so it's more sort of hands-off. You're not doing the day-to-day, fixture changes and stuff like that, answering the phone call. You're thinking more strategic.
Yep.
And, what does the future of football look like, essentially? A lot of meetings with clubs, things like that. More strategic-based sort of approach as opposed to more operational-based.
Yeah.
What's the most complicated one for you, though? Like, out of those topics that you just mentioned, which one do you comes up for you and you're like, all right, gotta. This is.
The high risk fixtures are definitely one that can be challenging. So there's two clubs. It may be historical or cultural differences that they may have. So we essentially meet with the clubs, 2-3 weeks out from the fixture. We set up a plan, an event plan. If there's
of how you want the day to be run, and
how we
want
how we want the event to be run. So whether we need to segregate crowd, whether the home team needs to up their security, we need to notify VicPol that the fixture is happening. Something that we tend to do when the fixtures are released, we approach each of the areas of VicPol and we say, look, this is the fixture, this is the date, this is the time, just making you aware, because they do their rosters, 12 weeks in advance, so you really have to let them know.
So when you get a South and Preston game coming up,
that South. If we go back to the season, that was that South Preston game at home, the first one,
9,000 one. That was
a big day for you.
It was honestly really great. It was a great event. Everything went to plan. And credit to the clubs. I think it got national attention, that match. I was seeing influencers posting about it and flying down from interstate to just to be at that match, and it was quite a fire. It had everything. Red cards, penalties.
It's the perfect Panenkas.
It was actually
the Panenka.
Right, had everything.
That was great, and like I said, credit to the clubs for putting that on. We set up a plan, and I guess it's up to the clubs to execute it. And with that, we appoint match commissioners as well, who essentially make sure the event plan goes well. They'll meet with the security and the club officials before the match. We tend to enforce online tickets as well, so we get identification through the gates, and there's wanding and whatnot, not to put football to the side, because that's the most important thing, of course. But that's probably one of the most challenging parts of the job. But slowly clubs are working together, because they understand football needs to progress in this country, and we can't go back to the 80s and 90s, essentially, when, you know, there's rioting and whatnot. It's bad for the sport. It's bad for everyone, really.
Yeah.
And you need to work together, no matter.
Exactly right.
And even if you're the biggest rivals, I think that's sort of. And I think the Oz Championship has sort of shown that we're like, despite your South and your Preston, like where there's the cultural sort of rivalry, there's probably no genuine sort of rivalry in it yet, and it feels like, well, we're all in this together. Like that's. And I think that's why the football in the championship has been unbelievable.
I think the biggest rivalry is just the interstate rivalry. To Melbourne, it's Victoria versus New South Wales.
New South Wales,
He's throwing Queensland there.
Yeah, you throw Queensland here and there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think before you go,
go.
I think Queensland and New South Wales. I mean, obviously they've got that too, but just from like reading and sort of seeing some of the other stuff, like New South Wales is the first one to get grouped in with the NPL Vic, whereas Queensland, I think, I've got a bit of their chip on the shoulder, saying like, I don't think it's that easy and simple to just put New South Wales as the second best one.
It's funny you say that because a lot of the good players from Queensland, they'll tend to come down to Victorian clubs.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
which is true. I think that's why like it's always just been so Gold Coast Knights sort of dominated.
Yeah,
because they got a lot of money.
Yeah,
but
Morden at the moment.
Morden's an interesting one.
Yeah.
They were two clubs that merged, you know, the past couple of years and became a powerhouse, really.
Of course.
Yeah. Interesting venue. I've been there.
Would you think?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Jamie.
Oh, you.
But now because it's got my head sprung.
Go.
If we've digressed a little bit, but does it do more harm than good, or am I just being an overthinker and no one really cares? If, like, it would be a lot better if a non-Vic team won the Oz Championship. And that's not me, I mean, I want Avondale to win it, but, like, would it do more for just the general NPL across Australia in the sense of, like, okay, we know NPL Vic's been the best league, but now let's get a New South Wales team, a Queensland team to win it, and it shows, okay, it's spread, and there's competitions everywhere.
As a Victorian, I want the Victorian teams to win. It's the same with the Australia Cup as well, right? We want, and we've seen, you know, we had Heidelberg make the final. Before that night, Melbourne Knights semi, Oakley's been there as well. You know, New South Wales had Sydney United a few years back make it. So that gap in itself between NPL and A-League is coming closer.
Definitely, yeah.
You can definitely see it through that cup competition.
Heidelberg decided to take the piss out of everyone.
Whether it's better for a New South Wales team to win it, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Time will tell if that does occur.
Yeah.
But I'm all for the Victorians.
Yeah, I just don't think it'll be good for the NPL Vic teams if they don't win it.
Well,
you need to get humbled every once in a while.
It's going to be interesting because I think Heidelberg could play South in the semi, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, they're on the same side.
They're on the same side.
Avondale's on the other side.
Oh, does it cross over?
No, I think it's South and Preston.
No, Preston didn't make.
Oh, Preston didn't make it. So
but South and Heidelberg.
South.
Would you assume that would? Like they both win. They'll beat each other in the semis.
Yeah, and that would attract a massive crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other football on, so
we'll
I mean, there's A-League, I guess, but local football.
Yeah.
Really
South have gone for it, and like they'd be typical Greeks, mate. They'd be like wanting to Heidelberg, especially, to be the first ones to want to win because they've gone and signed your Seb Pasquale's, they've gone and signed your Ollie Laval's, they've gone for it,
and they're a foundation club of the Oz Championship as well. Whereas Heidelberg made it through, you know, finishing
the league,
and that's
top,
that's a golden story in itself.
And I think for South as well is because they're going in for the Oceania as well. Like they've got competitions that they're going for next season, so I think they just want to go off momentum. Just quickly before we go any further into that, I want to go back to the NPL finals of this year.
Yep.
Like that was
amazing.
A spectacle in itself. 3 games, back to back to back.
Best thing you've done.
First thing, Lakeside looked unbelievable. Like we already gave our flowers to the groundsman at Lakeside for what he done. But that event itself was unbelievable, and obviously you're a massive part of that.
Yeah.
Well, you go to any final, any semi-final, it's you walking onto the pitch, bringing stuff on, organising people, telling people to fuck off, which is class. But what was that like to see that? And talk us through the planning stage of that, getting to that day.
Yeah. So we came together before the season started, essentially, and what we wanted to do is get rid of the dead rubbers at the end of the VPL1, VPL2 season, because it's essentially the top 2 teams get promoted, and that's it. Could have been done, you know,
with like 4 or 5
5, 6 rounds to go. So we didn't want that. So we wanted to change things up a little bit. So have 3 teams relegated from each league and have the playoff fixtures. We didn't lock in the venue until quite late in the season, something we're looking to change for next year. But yeah, the planning was, you know, a lot of meetings with the state trust there at Lakeside. It's not South Melbourne's venue. They use it, yes, but you know, they're tenants there essentially. So yeah, there was a fair bit of planning that went into it. Not as much as I thought, because the operational staff at the venue were so good. So we essentially didn't know who was going to be in the final until the week before.
Yep.
Obviously, we had set the kickoff times and whatnot. Bit worried if we were to go to extra time. So you would have noticed the last fixture, the NPL men's final, we delayed it because we didn't want to rush the teams with their warm ups and whatnot. Give the coaches a bit of peace of mind. You know, have a proper warm up. But yeah, setting up was pretty easy. We went there on the Friday. We set up our banners and whatnot. Saturday we had our NPL women's final at the home of the Matildas, which was great. And then we were at Lakeside quite early on the Sunday. You know, making sure the gates were okay for ticketing. Debrief with security, with venue. We had to organise staff to volunteer for that as well, so we don't get casuals. It's usually Football Victoria staff in different departments that will come and help, and we'll meet with them throughout the week and say, okay, this is your duty, this is what you need to do. Organise the event plan, you know, planning to the minute essentially. So there's a run sheet, you know, kick-off -30 for example, and then there's a flow-on effect. You know, the media team organise their commentators, the streaming. The streamers come, test the cameras, test everything. Yeah, really. There's things like, you know, organising catering for the players. That organise catering for staff. There's to the detail. You really have to think about, okay, how can we make this day as successful as possible? And of course, I guess everything did go to plan. Sure. And the delay in kickoff actually helped because there was a massive line outside as well to come in. Yeah. So it sort of worked. So in terms of like kickoff times for the season coming up, we'll probably adjust them a bit as well. But yeah, to have 13,000 people throughout the whole day. It was wild. I mean, the first match was at 12 p.m. and there was 2,000 people there. Yeah. Some stayed for all 3 because they could.
Well, the weather was peak for it as well.
Oh, it was
a perfect day.
You couldn't ask for anything better. The pitch was quality. You know, we watered it between games, and then to have, you know, 10,000 something like that for the final. Like, the atmosphere was just crazy throughout the whole night. Yeah. And you're just buzzing the whole day. You know, the adrenaline is constantly buzzing. Of course. And then at the end, when it's all done, you know, you can't even go to sleep that night, really. I feel like you've played.
Exactly.
Yes, but it was great. It was great.
Did all the flares do your head in?
Yeah, I guess so.
As a professional, they did, but as a football fan, you're like,
as a football fan, you know, I guess it's part of it. As a regulation, it's not meant to be.
Is it hard, I guess, for you, like, being, as I would imagine, a football fan first, to also, like, you know, that sort of every other person just like watching wants the flares and all that sort of crazy aspect? Is it hard for you to sort of be in between and on the one side of that?
A little bit. I mean, you have to think about the safety of the people there as well, because at the end of the day, flares can be quite dangerous. Yeah. You know, people get burnt, and God knows what can happen. Yeah.
Like the Oasis concept.
I'm constantly thinking about that sort of stuff. Even when I go to matches, you know, like if I go to an A-League match or an international game, it's hard for me to switch off from my role. Yeah. I'm constantly looking around. What are the staff doing? You know? Where are the players warming up? What are the shorts clashing? Are the socks clashing?
Funny,
what colour bibs are they wearing on the bench?
That's it.
So it's crazy the way my mind works now after working at Football Victoria and seeing the back end of all the planning and, you know, what clubs do.
So you can't even enjoy a game. You're just constantly stressing out thinking that you're in charge.
I was at the Melbourne Derby when the pitch invasion occurred, and I was just thinking, geez, if that happens
What a
at
headache.
NPL level, front page, and
Oh,
you
it
know,
would be game over.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
Yeah. You just watch golf now. It's probably the only thing they can do to relax.
Can't watch golf.
Kick clash. I think even just from like different aspects, like once you start coaching, once you start, it changes the game
Yeah, that's
once
right.
you watch it. But I'd much rather that than from an operation point of view. But for yourself, sort of, how do you see all the sort of competitions now evolving, and roughly where do you want to see it continue to go in the future?
Good question. I think it's at a pretty good place now. What we're trying to do more for the advanced space is add to the professionalism of it. So something that we do different to other states, we appoint match commissioners, and they're appointed at A-League matches, international matches as well, and they're essentially our eyes and ears on the pitch every week. They've got a report that they come back to us, did the players leave for warm-up on time? Did kickoff go on time? Were they in the tunnel on time? How long was half time? Are they using the correct match ball? They go through the facility. Is the defib up to date? So they look at all that sort of stuff, and we try to bring the clubs along on the journey as well, and really elevate our game. And it's one of the reasons why NPL Victoria is the best, because we add all these extra things. There's a few things that we're looking to do next year, like give clubs electronic subboards, for example.
Nice.
Don't know if we can add that and make it public.
Nice.
We did tell the NPL clubs a couple of weeks ago that's what we're looking to do.
Wow.
So just to elevate it as much
Yeah.
as we can, the streaming will improve as
Thank
well.
God.
Hopefully bring in some, replays. So that's done through Liga, which does all our graphics and whatnot. Our commentators are great. Just talking to a commentator, they know the ins and outs of Victorian football. They'll know players to the detail. It's pretty crazy. And we're quite lucky in Victoria to have so many people that are invested in our game, which really helps.
I think to jump in, I think the people, I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of them, and a lot of the boys that are doing them now, and they generally just have a passion for the NPL as well. And it's not even them trying to, sure, everyone's got their personal growth and everything like that too, but they generally just NPL nuffies.
Yeah.
And if they weren't commentating that game, they're there anyway. Which obviously is a massive added bonus, because the knowledge is, they're not studying the game, they've got it already, and then of course they refine your points. But I agree on that aspect. It looks like it's definitely going in a super positive direction, and the stuff like the championship and everything like else only makes it sort of bigger and better.
Our viewership on YouTube this year, we went from 1.2 million total views in the 24 season to 2.4 million.
That's
so
nuts.
we've essentially doubled.
Why do you think? Is there something that
I think
can
the product in itself is really good, and credit to the clubs. A lot of clubs are run by volunteers. It's very rare you'll have a club with a paid administrator there. Coaches still work full time, and then they'll go to the training track at night to coach their players. So a lot of credit needs to go to the clubs, because they've come on the journey with us.
I was just gonna touch on that as well, in the sense where like the viewership going up as well. So obviously, like you said, the product is getting better. The clubs are doing more, people are doing more, and I feel like, not to throw any bad, but like I feel like because the top level, being the A-League, obviously, is sort of
diminishing.
The product there isn't as great as what it was for the viewer, for like us. So for the NPL and the community level and stuff like that, we're like, well, this is sick, and this is getting better. So let's see how much better this can get. So I feel like you might even be surprised that next year you get another million and another million and another million. And it might not even come as a shock because of how much users are developing it, and it's getting, and people are starting to believe in it.
Yeah.
Can you feel that though? Like,
absolutely.
Obviously, without the statistic of the viewership and stuff like that, do you see from an outside perspective that like people are starting to get on board with us?
Yeah. I mean, the A-League, you have to pay a subscription to watch games. There's one match a week that's free, which drops off the viewership. The product doesn't get the exposure that it should. Media doesn't do the best job at highlighting. Compare it to the AFL, where months in advance when round one is, when the first game is.
100%.
The A-League, you rarely see an ad.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't.
It's
You
so
don't see
true.
ads. And with how many are now complaining, has the Australian Championship sort of taken over, the start of the A-League? Because it's like, we're seeing so much of the Earls Championship, but we're not seeing anything of the A-League. But it's like, the clubs need to do something about it as well. Like,
Yep.
you can't just expect things just to fall into place. Like, they know the position they're in. The A-League knows the position they're in, and they're really not doing anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, we need the A-League.
100%.
Yeah.
It's the top tier in Australia. We need it to succeed for football to succeed
Yeah, we
as
need
well.
it to.
Yeah.
Itself,
It's
100%.
similar to what we were saying about the NPL, where like they all need to help each other and put rivalry or whatever it is aside, and be like, well, like
Common goal.
Victory, which you'd expect is the big boy, needs to go and help a Perth Glory, for example. Like, makes a better competition for everyone, which naturally gives these NPL clubs, sort of the bigger thing to sort of grow to. What sort of for you would be the one thing that you would like to change, if you can say it, that you would try and like to change?
Sick of this guy taking my questions, honestly.
When you asked before, yeah.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think
Nothing just jumps at
I
you?
think we're in the right trajectory at the moment. So if it's not broken, why try to fix it?
That's
right.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Like I said, we're trying to make things a bit more professional.
Yeah.
But without the clubs coming along the journey, we can't do that.
Do you think you're seeing now that more clubs are, I guess, becoming more involved in that journey, especially after, the season's Australia Cup, the Oz Championship coming in, I guess the success that, the Nike Cups had.
Nike.
Sorry.
Weird.
The Nike Cup.
With your Mercedes t-shirt. How do you say Mercedes?
But this is the first time you've actually worn jeans. You've actually dressed professional for
Because
once.
I work at a real estate agency now.
You're at a real estate agency.
I'm a real estate
Gee,
flog now.
I guess all the success that's coming from all these different competitions, are you seeing now more of a drive from clubs to do better and to be more involved?
Yeah, absolutely. Even in state league level, like we discussed earlier, clubs are starting their pre-seasons earlier than ever, essentially. And now that we've changed the state league structure, where it was 5 state leagues to 7 now, and it's 2 divisions. So just to explain to the viewers out there, so it was state 1, 2, and 3 were broken up into 2 divisions: North, West, South, East, and 4 and 5 was North, West, South, East. Next year it'll be 4, 5, 6, 7, Northwest, Southeast. So moving up and down the pyramid should essentially be easier with 2 up, 2 down.
Yep. So across all the 7 leagues, it's Northwest.
Yep,
Southeast.
Northwest, Southeast.
Yep.
Every single league. It's the same in the women's as well. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I think we can make that natural progression down to the state league sort of chat now. We've talked about the big boys. We've given them the line. Let's look at the real footballers.
Yeah.
As actually, no, we're not there yet. We've got to go to the Metro leagues later too. That's where the real ballers are.
Yeah.
What was the introducing the 6 and 7 state leagues into purely for that beneficial thing of just moving up and down?
Yeah.
Or was there the aspect of more clubs getting involved, or just to?
Well, it's not necessarily more clubs. It's the same amount of clubs. Naturally, every year we have vacancies that occur. Clubs pull out. It's usually in the bottom leagues, unless something crazy happens in state 1, 2, 3. But yeah, we are the most connected pyramid in Australia. You look at New South Wales, for example. They've got, I think, 2 or 3 advanced leagues. Under that, they're association based, and it's closed shop.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So you can't get promoted in to like VPL2, for example.
Oh.
Whereas with us, you can do that. Look at the likes of Eltham. State 1
true.
got into VPL2 this season, got promoted again into VPL1. Melbourne Serbia did it as well.
Yeah. So what's the point?
Just to make things more connected, really.
Like in the sense of the New South Wales system, like
I don't know why.
They just do things differently.
They do it, yeah.
They've always been
Each state is unique in its own way.
Yeah, that's unique for sure.
And
that's a nice way of saying it, Frank.
New South Wales has associations everywhere. We've got our associations as well, and next year, majority of them are coming under the Football Victoria banner. They'll still be, like Football Ballarat, Football Geelong, for example. They'll still have their own local competitions, but they'll be administered by
FA.
us. So the
Smarter way to do it.
the discipline, referees will all fall under us. So bringing in the regional clubs as well and say, you know, we're not leaving you behind. We want you part of our ecosystem. We want to create pathways for your junior players. You know, a lot of national players come from the regional areas.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and they're all beasts as well.
I'm gonna do what Costa usually says and be devil's avocado here. Now with State League 7, 6 in there.
Yep.
Do we have enough refs to facilitate all those games?
I was about to ask that.
Yeah.
Because it is a big thing that a lot of people complain about. Obviously,
Yeah.
not having enough refs.
So in the State League,
It is a shortage.
you'll generally get coverage. You'll definitely get a centre. The ARs are a bit different. It is something that the ref department is working on in terms of recruiting, and the biggest thing is retention, keeping referees in the game. You know,
It's hard.
I did my level 4 course to referee a few years back, and my first match was juniors, and I got abused.
Yeah.
As I'm an adult, you know, pretty thick-headed. Imagine I was a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And I've got an adult 40-year-old male coach yelling at me during my first match. Do you think I want to come back next week?
No chance.
I mean, I've always...
Behaviours need to change.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the first to say, like, obviously, you need the more reps, blah, blah, blah. But I would never do it. I don't know why
It's
like,
very difficult.
I don't know if this is bad to say, but like, I would never want to be a ref.
We hear that a lot.
Yeah. It's the worst job out there. I feel like, you know, my best mate was... I always went into coaching straight away, and that was my thing. And I tried the refereeing, and just even, you know, when I was at Collingwood City, and the ref doesn't come for the senior women's game, and I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it. And I probably did go in a little bit, I'm like, okay, surely we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Disaster.
I nearly got chased out of the place.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like was Collingwood City first upfield, and I was going nuts. I was 16 at the time. I was like, I'll be fine. I'm like, I'm never touching a whistle ever again in my life.
Yeah.
My mate did
Fair.
coaching. He goes, fuck that, I don't want to deal with kids. And then referee, and he loves it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I could never do it.
It's quite difficult, to be honest, and every person's different how they want to referee a match.
Yeah.
You know, there's referees who don't want to be approached and spoken to, and there's some refs who are really involved in the match, and, you know, will notice something off the ball and say, you know, bring the captains in, for example, and say, hey, you know, let's ease up a bit. We don't want this match to get abandoned or anything like that. But yeah, the retention of the referees is a major thing, and, you know, our match officials get paid more than any other state as well. So yeah,
So you would put it purely down to that the behaviour sort of aspect. Yeah.
Behaviours need to change,
Yeah.
and that comes with education, right? As well, like, if someone, a checkout person at Coles makes a mistake, are you going to go off your head at them?
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing.
Yeah,
This
good point.
this person's trying to help the game. You know, they want to be involved, and we're abusing them, and then everyone's wondering, oh, we don't get refs. Well,
no shit.
Yeah.
Let's look in the mirror.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everyone does that.
Well,
Nah.
yeah.
Some clubs are great.
But it is a good point of, like, just shut up because they won't come again. You know, not to the extreme, but, like, just you want a ref. The last thing you want is for someone else. There's already dramas with linesmen. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, without obviously knowing anything, I wouldn't be surprised in 10 years from now, you're going to just need any sort of official to come and do linesmen, because especially in the state leagues, you just so much drama, and half the beefs and stuff that comes is from a volunteer doing linesmen.
Yeah.
Where it's like, why would you even want to be linesman at that aspect as a volunteer?
Yeah, I found running the line to be a lot harder than being the centre referee, to be honest.
Without a doubt.
So agree.
You can't really keep your eyes on the ball. You have to keep your eye on that last
that line,
person, and, you know, out of the corner of your eye, see the ball being kicked or listen to the ball being kicked. It's quite a difficult job, and
Of course.
the centre ref is in the middle of the pitch,
Yeah.
whereas the lines person's on the outers, and, you know, you got a whole bunch of fans.
Yeah,
right
exactly
behind
right.
you.
Yeah.
Exactly. You've got like someone's mates or dad yelling
Exactly
at you.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And most of the
Which
abuse,
is the most fun.
most of the abuse is to lines people.
Linesmen,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So again, behaviours need to change, and some clubs are doing really good jobs in, you know, referee education sessions, having their own referee programs where they train, you know, their parents or volunteers to officiate matches. We just need to translate that into, you know, doing the actual official course, and, you know, getting the uniform and getting appointed to matches as well.
What would probably the biggest, and I feel like we all know the answer, but what would probably be the biggest hurdle at a state league level be in the sense of the competition aspect?
You got put me on the spot here. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the behaviour of players, coaches, and spectators is probably the biggest thing that we find. The discipline of it all. You get your bad tackles, and some players want to go out there to hurt someone. Really, which is not what we want. That's probably one of the biggest thing. The behaviours of people in the state leagues. Venues are also a big blocker. We've got
say conditions of pitches as well.
Yeah, our facility guidelines. You can't have a cricket pitch on the field, but we understand that there are a lot of constraints depending on the council that you're in. Access. If there's a cricket club at your ground, you won't get access till April. And then you'll lose it again come end of September. So there's a lot of barriers there. Even in the women's side of things, female-friendly facilities is huge. We can't have female players just getting changed in their car, or on the side of the field. It's not appropriate.
No, of course not.
So facilities are definitely massive.
Yeah,
massive, and we are trying to get more green space for our clubs, but it's quite difficult. Yeah, it's quite difficult.
Is it because you're sort of competing against your cricket, your footy?
Yeah, it's mostly your cricket. Because it's seasonal, and football is seen as a winter sport, whereas most clubs now function 12 months of the year.
Exactly right.
The season finished 2 months ago, essentially, and there's pre-season now. I drove past a football ground yesterday, and I saw juniors training already. And I'm like, well,
it was just it's wild. I mean, I know from experience with West Preston, the season's done. Next week you're out. You're out the club. The cricket club's already moving their fridge in, and you've got no time for that. And it will get to a point, it probably already has, where state league clubs now are running as more sort of serious as ever before, where they're going to fall behind, and clubs are going to be like, well, how can we compete against, I don't know, someone that can use their pitch in November, which I gather will just continue to put further strain on that. But why, and it's maybe not something that you can ask, why does it feel like cricket gets that upper hand in that sense? Because you look at participation numbers and everything like that, it's naturally would you not look towards the football? I understand AFL. I'm not going to. I'm a massive AFL nuffy as well, so I'll maybe be a bit biased.
Well, we don't use their grounds anyway, right?
Exactly.
It's rare that we'll use
it's an oval field, whatever. Which even surprises me why there's a lot of cricket pitches on soccer fields too, but I think that's why a lot of people are pushing for the synthetic, where it's ugly, but you have the Astro where you can have lines for cricket pitches there too, and it's more that sort of turf.
I guess it's expensive to have a synthetic.
It's super expensive,
especially to set it up initially, and then you need to change it after 5 years, 5 to 10 years, depending on the surface. There's a lot of maintenance involved there too.
Does the council do all that?
There's local government, state government, federal government.
So you don't issue the clubs to do it. It'll be like the council.
No, we wouldn't. We'd advocate with the club to council. Whether it's to get a grant or facility upgrade. So we've got specific staff members at Football Victoria who speak to council quite regularly. And even us in the competitions department will speak to council. We'll go out and do facility audits as well, especially those clubs that are coming from State 1 into VPL2. The facility standards are elevated. Player tunnel, you need to be fenced. There's all that goes into it as well. So we'll meet with councils. We'll go out to the facility, say, okay, you need to do this. We may need to grant an exemption here on there as well. Give clubs like a year dispensation. Okay, we'll let you play here, but in a year's time, this is what you need to work towards.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah,
I get it.
I think a little bit of personal research now too. For a new club that would be wanting to come in. Obviously, that's what I want to do and what sort of we want to do at 1 Nil. But in a broader sort of sense, if there is... actually scrap that. I want to start my own club. I want to enter state leagues. What are sort of the things where a normal person sort of wouldn't think about? And it's like, okay, well, you need that. obviously the facilities is a massive factor.
Yep.
But what sort of would you be recommending to people out there that are wanting to sort of break in? Because like I know the natural sort of progression is like church league. I think there was a new team, Croydon
Rangers.
Yep. Were they in churches league or were they metro league? I saw they posted coach, and I think they came from church league, and they've sort of.
I think they might have been playing in metro. I think so.
Yeah.
So generally with the new clubs, there's a new club application that goes out. I think September.
Yeah.
You do need your facilities. You need the council to essentially back you with a letter or whatever that may be. You need other programs as well. You won't jump straight into state league the first year. That's just not how it happens. You'd essentially be put into the metros.
Yeah.
And then there's a state league application that comes out usually around October, depending on if there's vacancies or not. This year there was, so a few teams were lucky enough to get in.
Yeah.
But yeah, we generally look at clubs that have been established for at least a year, that have a venue, have other programs, not just, your one senior men's team. Do you have juniors? Do you have any women's program? Are you doing anything different? Do you have all abilities? What does your committee look like? Is it 40-40-20, females on the board and whatnot as well?
Yeah.
So that's everything that we look at. Are your coaches accredited? Do your volunteers have working with children checks? So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
So how would a club do that without, like, can juniors play without, like, in a can they enter a community?
Yeah, so we've got junior only clubs.
Yeah.
There's a few clubs like that, but if they were to start off with juniors, for example, and then the pathway leads, you've got your under 18s, and next year, we want to keep these players at the club. Yes, you'd apply for state league. If you've got juniors, you've essentially got a venue locked in.
Yeah,
you've been playing there for a while. That would help.
It'd be an easier transition.
Correct.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep.
So you got
probably
the biggest thing, and it'll be interesting if you can touch on it. But one thing that always comes up when we're sitting on these couches is the amount that fees are.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you think in time, because obviously I'm not talking as a coach, I'm talking as an outsider.
Yep.
There's so much evidence of the growth within, I guess, participation rates.
Mm-hmm.
Why are some clubs charging so much to play? And are we becoming, I guess, you mentioned it last week, are we becoming sort of that elitist?
Yeah.
The
cost to play is a big topic at the moment. So we released our team entry and player fees a couple of weeks back. We'll charge a junior player in advance $200, and then the thousands of dollars is essentially the club fee. But what is that club offering? Are they offering extra training sessions? Are they running a program, 12 months of the year? Are they doing S&C? What sort of accreditation are their coaches? It's not just the parent. So there's a cost for the coach. There's a cost to council to have the venues as well, because in the advanced space, the season starts in Feb.
Yeah, exactly.
And goes through September. And if a club doesn't get their venue until April, the club needs to hire another venue as well. So there's all that as well. But yeah, the cost of play is a massive topic at the moment, and other states are doing an index of what each club is offering and what they charge their players, and it's something that we may look at doing as well. But yeah, it's quite a big topic at the moment. Are clubs charging this much money, and it's essentially being funneled into their senior team? It's hard to tell, but yeah. It's a real sensitive topic.
Yeah.
Of course,
I don't want to say anything to.
But I think, like, look, we can talk, we can speak on it. Like, I think there's no harm in it, but it's interesting hearing it from people, and then it's like, my answer to them would be like, you know what, I wish you could be there at a club like that and see exactly what's going on. Like, for example, we can speak for Avondale. Straight away, our 13s, our 15s, and 17s were in the second week of training. S&C.
Yep.
S&C there, physio there.
Yep.
That's nice.
At every session.
Match day as well, physios.
Yeah, match day physio.
I
S&C
might have
there.
made it if I had a physio at 13.
Bro,
Fuck.
honestly, man, like last night, the way, and for both of us, this was our first, I guess, experience being a part of, that first pre-season fitness testing at an NPL level.
Yeah.
The setup, and full credit to Johnny Cobiella as well at Avondale, who was the one there setting everything up. What's the word like?
Organisation.
The detail. The detail that he went into to set up these fitness sessions, these testing sessions were unbelievable. And I'm like, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
And for the parents to say that, I feel like it's
100%.
Worth the money.
It's worthwhile.
100%.
Yeah.
It's worth every bit, because everything, like we probably had 8 of us in total, and then within the total team there was 13, 14 of us running this session.
Yeah.
Every single detail was taken down, every single score was taken down, every step was run through perfectly, and you're like, that's what it's about.
And that's most clubs
100%
in that space. Even the community clubs do similar things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, some of them. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Well, the sports science, I guess, of the game is bigger than ever before.
Yeah, it's blown up, yeah.
And we're almost turning to a numbers game in the sense of data and everything that can be tracked.
everything.
But that is pretty wild at that age that they've got that, which is it's only good. It's only good things.
And this is the thing, like, and this is what these clubs are doing. Like, these clubs want to be recognised and put in the work, and
They want to attract
the best of the best,
players. Yeah.
100%. Because you might go to an A-League club, and just because you're at an A-League club doesn't mean you're going to get the best of the best. But you hope to do, but sometimes it's not that way.
Can you touch on any on the Western United stuff, like now that they're MPL and all that?
Not really.
No?
I don't have much info to say
Yeah.
anything anyway. But they're in VPL 1 and Advanced Juniors next season.
Yeah.
What happens after that?
Jesus.
I don't know. Their A-League license is in hibernation. They can still vote in the A-League because the APL runs that. But yeah, that's essentially it. And it's a shame what's happened. There's people that used to work at Football Victoria who are at Western now as staff. And, we need that A-League team in the West because it's growing rapidly. And, I've spoken to community clubs out there and they want Western United as well. It's a real shame what's happened, and it's bad for the game.
Yeah,
Wow.
Real bad for the game.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So then you start thinking, okay, who's next?
Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
Literally, that's it.
It's starting to get like that a little bit.
Who's next in the sense of who goes?
Which A-League
Out?
club could it happen to next?
Yeah.
essentially?
Well, isn't it
And I think
2 clubs down in the last 5 years, or something like that?
Was it
Nah,
Western
the
United?
Gold Coast was the last.
Gold
one.
Coast was a while ago.
Yeah.
But that was a long time.
Wasn't
Yeah.
there one though?
No, there
North
was
Queensland Fury.
North Queensland.
They were good.
Nah,
Robbie
I think
Fowler.
in the last 5 years, I think the closest one that's come to is probably Perth.
Yeah.
That was close to being.
Newcastle was pretty.
Oh,
There's a lot.
Newcastle.
We could be
Newcastle.
here. We
Yeah, I
could be
think
here
that's
all
what I'm
day.
thinking about.
I think on the other side, though, the other scary part is before we move on with that is, why would you want to start another club or develop another club and put them in the A-League?
No, exactly right.
I think that's why there's such a massive push for the Pro Rail to happen.
Yeah.
And I guess the Oz Championship, given it's like a group stage,
Yeah.
the next step would be establishing the league to play throughout the year and see if it's sustainable, and then we can do Pro Rail now.
Is that 5-year plan still?
I think so.
In motion yet?
We at Football Victoria are not overly involved in the Oz Championship.
Yeah.
It's really Football Australia that runs it.
Yeah.
That's essentially it.
So basically, like, this is... You probably don't even have an answer or a comment or anything on it, but, like, a couple years, maybe even more in the future, if they do end up doing, like you said, promotion, relegation, stuff like that, and the teams that are in the NPL Victoria that you deal with end up in the... Like, what happens to your management with these teams?
Probably
You just lose the license of them? Like, what happens?
I guess so, or it might be a similar scenario with, Victory City Western, where they've got their under-23s playing in our senior comps. It might be something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just depends. We haven't really thought that far ahead. But yeah, that may essentially be the case. I mean, we wouldn't stop a club being aspirational to do that.
No, of course.
And some clubs believe they're already there. It should happen. But yeah, we'd essentially just update our pro rail rules, and that's it, really.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I guess
you got to be flexible as well and have a common sense approach to things.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking on the topic of future, what do you think's next for FV? Like, is there stuff that's in the works? Is there development plans for the game? Especially, I guess, maybe touching on our women's game a little bit as well.
I was about to say.
Like,
the jump.
Yeah.
How high they've gone.
So, more recent, we've changed our league structure in the MPLW. So, Melbourne Victory and Melbourne City have now been introduced.
Yeah.
So, that's created a 14-team comp, exact same as the men's. They'll start at the same time. We are trying to elevate the women's game a bit more. The Nike FC Cup's been great, and the Steph Catley Plate, the best state league teams competing in that. I think the next step, and it's something that we at FV and other member federations are pushing, is a national knockout cup for the women's game as well.
That'd be
but
cool.
we are slowly, I think, getting to that, because the A-League women's seasons are slowly starting to align. There are still those players in the A-League, we'll call them the fringe players, who do drop back into MPL Women's in May when the season finishes. But I think it'd be great to see a women's national knockout cup as well.
So you reckon there could be something like an Australia Cup for the women?
I think so. I don't see why not. The women's game is very strong nationally.
I think it needs one, honestly.
And you see the success of the Matildas. I mean, after the World Cup that we hosted, the participation rate of not only girls but boys just boomed.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was great for our game.
Awesome. Yeah.
The fact that we hosted, the fact that, yes, Matildas didn't win it, but they did well. I mean, all their games were sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right.
And they still get sold out now.
Yeah.
Even when they're friendlies, which is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The impact, I mean, we almost talk about it every week, but the impact they've had was just berserk.
Yeah.
And obviously we've got the Asian Cup next year too.
Yeah.
Next year? 2026? Yeah, well. Next year, which you would think... I think there's got to be a lot of pressure, because I don't want to say
there's an expectation there.
Yeah, I don't want to say the casual fan, but those that sort of jumped on board with the Matildas throughout that process, you go, well, we did well in the World Cup, and you've got France, you've got England, you've got this and this. Surely in the Asian Cup we can win it. So,
and the Socceroos won it.
It's true.
Exactly.
And it was here too. Yeah.
And the Matildas are better, essentially. Higher ranked and whatnot.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree.
A bit big. Well, Frank, what sort of the future sort of holds for you? What are you sort of looking forward to? Anything that do you follow an MPL team?
No.
No, that was
I'm a lover of the
that was
game,
a setup of the question. Sorry,
I get asked that a lot.
You follow a Premier League team?
Liverpool.
Oh,
nice. Yes.
I'm actually going to the UK over Christmas. So
Serious?
Yeah, I'll be going to Anfield.
Which game?
Wolves.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think it's day after Boxing Day.
smart. You can choose a game where you might win.
It was either Wolves or Leeds.
I'd go Wolves as well. Leeds is scary.
Yeah, that's definitely a bucket list.
Nah, that's sick,
ticked
man.
off. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah.
Super excited. Just amongst myself with the Scouse,
Without a doubt.
Bro, my cousins went last year. They did the same thing. It's
bro. I'm so keen. Yeah,
unreal.
But yeah, Liverpool's my team.
Nice. Well,
Yeah,
I
they're
didn't
both United,
even
so
know.
it's
I didn't even know
fine,
who
bro.
United's next fixture is. I feel like it's been like 2 months.
It's been a while.
You're doing all right.
I think we got. I actually can't remember.
I
who
actually
we've
can't
got.
remember who we have.
Who you have this week?
Yeah.
You see Scott McTominay this morning?
I don't know. We got
Oh,
Nottingham
bro,
Forest this week.
Scotland, unbelievable.
Yeah, did you see Scotland this
Yeah,
morning?
I was watching the highlights today. It's crazy.
That was
First time in 30 years.
Yeah, limbs.
It's unbelievable. And
Which
they scored
it-
like 3 Puskas-worthy goals in one game.
Which I
Yeah.
can't believe they haven't made it in 30 years.
Yeah,
True.
it
Like,
actually is. It's unbelievable.
yeah,
Bro,
there's too many teams. In the
I
World
hate the
Cup.
fact that we've waited. We've been international break for 2 weeks, and now we have to wait till Tuesday to play
Oh yes, that's right.
against Everton.
What a boring.
You're versing
Yeah.
Everton Tuesday.
Everton on Tuesday.
Away?
Tuesday at 7 a.m. So.
Away?
Yeah.
Nah, home.
Oh.
Apparently, Everton's new stadium is amazing.
Ridiculous.
Really good.
Yeah.
Considering going, but I don't
Yeah,
Think
no,
I can do that to myself.
no,
reckon
suck
I'll do
it.
Yeah,
We do it.
I've heard it's actually like
Nottingham.
I saw the photo of like the guy whose like reserved seat was in this spot, and then in the new stadium, it's like almost identical.
Yeah.
Like it's
Really?
like nothing's. Obviously, it's bigger and everything.
Yeah.
But like it still feels as much of the old as you can when making the new one.
Yeah, well,
That's
you,
class.
you
So that's
see
the
how
better
mad it is.
Merseyside team.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Like when they pan the camera and that, you're like, that's Everton now. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what, like when Tottenham got their new stadium, we couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was like the best stadium in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tottenham.
Old Trafford's a hole.
Oh, ask this bloke about Old Trafford.
Bro,
Yeah. We were there together.
we were there together.
Yeah. I could see
It
him
was-
across the stadium.
Yeah, it was
Disaster.
disaster.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
hole.
We need more of those stadiums here, though.
We do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Amy Park's great for football. Like
Yeah.
anywhere you sit,
Mm.
like
You can see everything.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
it's
is.
quality.
But
Yeah.
no, beautiful.
Yeah, we need more green space
Yeah.
for our game.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah. If you want to become a state league club, 100%.
Well,
No,
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to touch on?
No.
No.
went really well. I think we touched on quite a few things, which is good.
Yeah, we got pretty deep there for a little
100%.
bit. It's nice.
Bad.
Well, Frank, thank you for joining us. Best of luck. I was going to say good luck when you go watch Liverpool, but I hope you lose
100%.
with all due respect.
Wish him luck. He's going there. Someone that's
100%.
actually going there, you have to hope that they watch a winning team.
We didn't, so...
Yeah,
too
but
bad.
I hope that you, when
No.
you went to watch Tottenham, I said I hope you win. That's the only time I've hoped
No,
you
we didn't go to
won.
watch Tottenham. We went to watch Man United,
Yeah.
and Tottenham
Watch
happened to
United.
be
Tottenham
there
were just
and
there.
happened to beat us 3-0.
Yeah, you just went to watch Edge.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's true.
That's pretty cool.
But no, thank you. Appreciate the time. And it was good to get, I guess, a lot of insight onto just sort of things that people don't really see and a lot of the behind the scenes look on stuff. So best of luck when you go overseas. Good luck for the next NPL season and everything else in between.
Thank you.
Boys, I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. See you guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.